Blackstone presents A New World in Our Hearts, in conversation with Michael Albert, by Noam Chomsky, with Michael Albert. This book is read by Donald Corren. Section 1. The Z Sessions. Noam Chomsky is an American linguist, philosopher, cognitive scientist, logician, political commentator, and activist. Sometimes described as the father of modern linguistics, Chomsky is also a major figure in analytic philosophy. He has spent most of his career at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where he is currently Institute Professor Emeritus, and has authored over 100 books. He has been described as a prominent cultural figure and was voted the world's top public intellectual in a 2005 poll. In February 2010, Z invited Noam Chomsky to spend a day at the Z offices in Woods Hole, Massachusetts, in order to film 5 sessions on specific topics. The sessions were then transcribed for this book. The sessions presented here not only expose imperial policies and institutions, but also indicate important areas for organizing, such as challenging institutions like capitalism, which demand hierarchical structures of class, race, and gender, and challenging all attempts by the U.S. empire and its satellite client states to ignore the will of the population. That is, the sessions point to the need to fight for, reclaim, and develop truly democratic structures and institutions that are counter to the current savage imperialism, oppressive hierarchies, and democracy deficit. Lydia Sargent. Session 1. Responsibility of Intellectuals, Scholars, and Journalists. Michael Albert. Years ago you wrote an article called The Responsibility of Intellectuals, so we'll start there and then move on to other topics. The first problem with that title is, what's an intellectual? Noam Chomsky. It's not a term I use very much, but it's a term that's used. It refers to people who have sufficient privilege and opportunity so that they're able to speak about affairs with a degree of prestige and authority. They're called intellectuals. A physicist working in a lab, if he's working on something, is not called an intellectual. But if he happens to give a talk, then he's an intellectual. A literary critic who writes about English poets in the late 19th century is not an intellectual. But if they happen to write on the cultural changes that are developing in the modern world, well, okay, then they're an intellectual. If a shoemaker happens to make a very thoughtful commentary on international affairs or domestic...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?